Kody Brown and the Sister Wives franchise are facing a firestorm of controversy as disturbing new revelations about Garrison Brown's tragic death begin to surface. What really happened in the days leading up to his passing? And could this be the unraveling of a reality TV empire that's lasted more than a decade? Fans are demanding answers, and what's emerging might change everything we thought we knew about the Brown family. In a dramatic turn of events, Sister Wives is now under intense scrutiny. Rumors are swirling about a possible cover-up involving Garrison Brown's heartbreaking death. Viewers and longtime fans are outraged, and even insiders close to the production are starting to question whether critical truths have been hidden to preserve the show's image. Garrison, the beloved son of Janelle and Kody Brown, died tragically in early 2024 in what authorities ruled as self-inflicted gunshot wound. But now, the story may not be as simple or as transparent as it initially seemed. Social media has erupted. Anonymous sources, cryptic posts, and resurfaced footage from past episodes have triggered a wave of speculation. Many fans now believe that the warning signs of Garrison's emotional distress were quietly edited out of the show. Scenes where he appeared withdrawn or burdened with visible emotional weight were seemingly brushed off as harmless family drama. But perhaps the most jarring revelation is the suggestion that TLC executives might have urged the Brown family to keep quiet about the most painful details. According to alleged insiders, producers pushed to avoid deeper discussions around Garrison's mental health, fearing it could damage the brand ahead of the show's milestone 20th season. One source claimed they told the family to stay vague and let the headlines fade. For a fan base that has followed the family's ups and downs for over a decade, the idea that they were only ever shown a curated version of reality is a bitter pill to swallow. Could TLC have gone too far in protecting the Brown family's image at the expense of truth? Kody Brown's public response has been minimal and calculated. His emotional distance and absence from key memorials have only fueled the belief that deeper family fractures remain hidden. Janelle, on the other hand, has been visibly heartbroken. She shared touching tributes to her son and thanked fans for their support, but has remained silent on the most sensitive questions. As whispers grow louder, some insiders believe the show may not survive this scandal. Behind closed doors, there's talk that TLC could be preparing to quietly end Sister Wives, fearing the fallout from these allegations could be too damaging to overcome. What's certain is that Garrison's loss has left a permanent scar, not just on his family, but on fans who have grown up with the Browns. The emotional toll is undeniable, and the truth, whatever it may be, is now impossible to ignore. With the heartbreak, Janelle has tried to move forward. Once Kody's second wife, she was spiritually married to him for nearly 30 years before ending the relationship during the pandemic, after tensions over their children came to a breaking point. She has since relocated to North Carolina and just celebrated her 55th birthday, receiving a touching message from her daughter-in-law, Michelle Petty, who wrote, "Happy birthday, Janelle Brown. I truly hit the mother-in-law lottery." Janelle responded with love, saying, "Gratitude to her children and grandchildren for standing by her side through the darkest chapter of her life. Though the loss remains raw, she finds a sliver of peace in the belief that one day she and Garrison will meet again." Season 19 of Sister Wives has arrived with Janelle at a crossroads, embarking on a powerful journey of self-reclamation. After ending her decades-long marriage to Kody Brown, she's stepping into a new chapter, one defined not by heartache, but by hope. Her focus is clear: self-care, positivity, and purpose. In her own words, she's finally ready to live the life she always dreamed of. The past few years have tested her, but with resilience, Janelle has begun to rebuild, brick by brick. In one of the season's more striking developments, she leaves behind Arizona and the remnants of a fractured family and purchases land in North Carolina. For the first time in her adult life, she's making decisions based solely on her own dreams, And it shows. At the start of 2025, Janelle shared her New Year's resolution on Instagram, a full life detox. Her plan? Remove toxic energy, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. From clean eating and fitness to reconnecting with nature, she's embracing renewal with purpose and passion. But grief doesn't disappear with distance. In 2024, Janelle lost her beloved son, Garrison Brown, at just 25 years old. The devastation lingers, woven into every day of her healing. Yet, despite the heartbreak, she's choosing to move forward, gardening, grounding herself, and building Tata Farms, a flower-growing business born of love and perseverance. Gardening has always been Janelle's therapy. While Kody preferred city life, Janelle longed for the earth, for roots, literally and figuratively. Years ago, when the Brown family bought land at Coyote Pass, she dreamed of turning it into a lush greenhouse operation. But the family unraveled before that vision could take shape. Now, that dream is being reborn, on her own terms, in her own space. Meanwhile, Kody Brown is living through a parent's worst nightmare. The recent Sister Wives episode gave fans an unfiltered glimpse into the family's grief following Garrison's tragic death. For Kody, the regret cuts deep. A rift formed between father and son during the pandemic, and now Kody is haunted by the time he can never reclaim sitting by a campfire, one of Garrison's favorite places. Kody confessed, "I didn't get a chance to make things right. I didn't get to say goodbye." The loss is a wound that refuses to close. "How am I going to do this?" he asks, every holiday, every birthday. His anguish is palpable. Next week's episode promises even more raw emotion as the Browns prepare to bury Garrison's ashes in Wyoming, a final resting place for a soul gone far too soon. Though Kody has lost 3 spiritual spouses and much of the family's unity, nothing compares to the heartbreak of losing a child. Garrison, who quietly battled depression and alcoholism, left behind questions and sorrow. And while the cameras can't capture everything, they're beginning to reveal the layers of pain, the ripple effects of grief, and the slow, fragile steps forward. In 2024, tensions came to a head between Kody Brown and some of his family members over the strict rules he enforced during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. His rigid guidelines, essentially barring loved ones from seeing anyone outside their homes, sparked deep divisions. Looking back now, Kody's burdened with a sorrow that's hard to name. "I never really got the chance to make things right," he confessed on air this past Sunday. The loss of his son Garrison has brought that regret into painful focus. All that frustration I had over COVID and everything else. Suddenly it's just so meaningless. I'm just sad. Sad for what could have been. Regret pulses through Kody's words, both in his interviews and heartfelt talks with the wife Robin. "I've got to do something different," he admitted, "because I could have had more time with him. I thought there would be more time." That illusion that we all have time haunts him. Everybody thinks they've got more time. Later in the episode, viewers saw Kody break down, overwhelmed by the permanence of the loss. "How am I going to do this?" he asked Robin, tears in his eyes. "How do I live the rest of my life through every holiday, every birthday, without him?" Since Garrison's tragic suicide, Kody has been on a mission. One final act of devotion. He wants to return his son's ashes to Wyoming, to lay him to rest among family. "It's a pilgrimage in a way," he shared. "Part of the process. It's all I want, to take him home, put him in the ground." Kody had spoken to People magazine last year about the unrelenting ache of losing Garrison. "This grief is unlike anything I've ever known," he said. "It's different from losing a best friend or relative. It's irreconcilable. The future we'll never have with him." "I feel lucked out to love you." In the May 4th episode of Sister Wives, Janelle revealed painful details about the day before Garrison's death. She said they had been texting throughout the day and that nothing in their last exchange gave her reason for concern. Only the next morning did the devastating news reach her. His sister, Madison Brush, shared her efforts to help Garrison in his final months. She and her husband, Caleb, had tried to convince him to move to North Carolina, hoping a change of environment would help him heal. Caleb heartbreakingly noted he was almost coming. Madison reflected on the moment she learned of her brother's passing, saying, "There are moments that change your brain chemistry, and calling our siblings to tell them one had died was one of those moments." Garrison was cremated, and his ashes now rest on the Brown family plot in Wyoming. Janelle holds hope that one day they'll be reunited. Shortly after the emotional episode aired, Janelle shared a moving tribute on Instagram. She wrote, "It's taken time to accept that in the end, we did everything we could. Sometimes the mind convinces someone there's no hope, even when all the evidence says otherwise." Being back in Flagstaff made her realize just how much she needed to turn the page. As the truth unfolds, one thing is clear. Garrison's story and the questions it raises will leave a lasting impact on the legacy of Sister Wives. Everywhere she turned, there were reminders of Garrison. Janelle Brown, star of Sister Wives, expressed deep. "What he regrets most," he said, "is not savoring the time they had. I just wanted one more dinner, one more drink, one more time for him to try and make me laugh, because he was good at that. My only real regret is that I didn't do those things more often." Meanwhile, Kody has been navigating the emotional landmines of his fractured family. He shared that his ex-wives had labeled him a piece of trash in the wake of their breakups, blaming the tense atmosphere that plagued their home during those years. Yet some viewers wonder whether Robin, his sole remaining wife, may be playing a bigger role than she realizes. There's no denying that Kody finds his peace with Robin. She knows how to calm him, how to give him exactly what he needs. Whether intentional or not, her influence isolates him from the rest of his family. And when he's with her, like during a tender scene where they built a makeup table for their daughter Ariella, he comes alive. He's younger, lighter, hopeful again. That's the power she holds. Kody is deeply devoted to Robin, even to the point of romantic idealism. It's touching, but also gives her immense sway over his actions. He wants to make her happy. He needs to. And slowly, painfully, he's beginning to see the consequences of that devotion. In Sister Wives Season 19, a more introspective Kody is emerging. He's owning up to the role he played in the collapse of his marriages and the toll it's taken on the children they share. He now admits that the cruel words he once hurled, saying he never loved his exes, were fueled by pain, not truth. Divorce is rarely graceful. It's a violent unraveling of a deep bond, and emotions often spill out in hurtful ways. Kody wasn't alone in that. Everyone lashed out. The ideal of a peaceful split, like Gwyneth Paltrow's infamous conscious uncoupling, might be noble, but it lacks the raw emotion that real breakups bring. Kody's journey is messy, painful, and, at times, surprising. But in that emotional chaos, there may yet be space for growth. There are angry phone calls, bitter messages, and an overwhelming sense of disbelief. This, it seems, is the new reality. Now, Kody is left to face the fallout, grappling with the fear that his own children may be turned against him. Even if no one admits to undermining him, he can't shake the feeling that it's happening. And that paranoia is eating at him. The truth is hard to ignore. The kids spend far more time with their mothers, who are there, day in and day out. Naturally, their words carry more weight. And then there's Robin, ever present, echoing a message of core family that only widens the divide. Yes, she and her kids are firmly part of that core. But why draw such sharp lines? Why isolate the others? These kinds of dynamics fuel the fire, keeping the resentment alive. The wounds never get a chance to heal when Robin's soft-spoken jabs stir the pot, over and over again. Kody and Robin share a peaceful home life. Their kids seem happy, their love intact. At times, it even looks like Kody's love leans more heavily in one direction. That sort of imbalance, however common, can be dangerous. Take their Valentine's Day dinner. Robin wore red, the perfect picture of romance. Yet the glow in her eyes didn't appear until she opened Kody's gifts, turquoise jewelry selected with care. But she didn't get him anything. Maybe that stung. And while debts and disputes linger with sons like Peyton and Gabriel, Kody also faces mistrust from ex-wives threatening legal action over Coyote Pass. Despite it all, he continues to invest, emotionally and financially, in Robin, convinced she is his forever. But what if forever doesn't look the way he imagined? He did eventually divide the Coyote Pass land before it sold, perhaps yielding to Janelle and Meri. Maybe it was a gesture from the heart. But no matter the intent, actions speak louder than any apology or compliment. People reveal who they are through what they do, not what they say. Robin has long claimed she cherishes the entire family and supports polygamy. Yet her actions suggest otherwise. She carved out a separate space at Christmas, kept Kody from his older kids, and withdrew from Meri after Kody did, despite earlier promises of loyalty. There's a clear disconnect between her words and her behavior, and the rest of the family feels it. Kody Brown is, at his core, a romantic. He still sees his partner as a princess, still yearns for that fairy tale bond. If Robin wants the core family, she gets it, but everything has a cost. If one person gives more than they receive, resentment festers. Kody may be evolving, showing signs of self-reflection. But Robin, she might not be there yet. She may, in fact, be the greatest obstacle between Kody and his children. If he truly wants to repair those fractured bonds, he might need to do it on his own, without Robin beside him. Letting go of the idea that they must always appear as a united front could be the key. Only then can those bridges begin to rebuild. If Robin truly loves him, she'll step back and give him the space to try. Meanwhile, the three former sister wives, Meri, Janelle, and Christine, have all stepped into new lives, each facing her own challenges. Sister Wives, launched in 2010, showcasing a then-united polygamist family, led by Kody and joined by Robin not long after. Robin arrived with 3 children and went on to have 2 more with Kody, while the original trio had already raised 13. Over time, the favoritism shown to Robin, especially during the COVID-19 years, grew too blatant to ignore. Christine left first in 2021, Janelle followed in 2022, and finally, in 2023, Meri walked away. Now, Kody lives monogamously with Robin, with no interest in adding another wife. The once shared Coyote Pass was sold off, and the profits were divided. The original 3 wives are forging ahead on different paths, but their journeys are far from simple. Meri's separation may have been the most painful. Her bond with Kody was complex, full of sparks at times, but eventually dulled. Towards the end, Kody made it clear he never really loved her. That truth shattered something in Meri, yet she chose dignity. She walked away on her own terms, opting for a spiritual divorce. Kody even helped her move, and while the act was civil, it was final. The emotional toll was evident. She settled into Lizzie's Heritage Inn, a family home turned Airbnb, but it wasn't her dream, just a legacy she felt compelled to preserve. The property needed serious work, and Meri took out a $485,000 loan, bringing her total investment to over $1.1 million. She's rebuilding both the house and herself. But what lies ahead remains uncertain for all of them. Liz's Heritage Inn has reportedly reopened for bookings, quietly marking another chapter in Meri's evolving story. Deeply entangled in the complex dissolution of the Coyote Pass property with Kody, Meri walked away with a $375,000 payout, a figure that offered not just financial relief, but emotional closure. As for her love life, it's a journey still unfolding. In 2024, Meri was romantically involved with Amos Andrews for 4 months. However, the relationship came to an end, derailed by clashing values, mismatched communication, and diverging life goals. While the split was bittersweet, Meri now finds herself in a more stable place, even if love and property matter remain unresolved. Meanwhile, Janelle has taken a completely different path, one far removed from her past. Throughout her marriage, Kody often praised Janelle's sharp business sense, and Janelle, in turn, found peace in not having a husband around full time. But like the other original wives, she grew weary of the favoritism, lack of accountability, and financial imbalance in the family. When Janelle finally walked away, all she wanted was her fair share, and she got it. $375,000 from her portion of the Coyote Pass land. With that, she turned the page and relocated to North Carolina to join her daughter, Meri Brown, Maddie's husband, and their children. Together, they've embarked on a bold new venture, Tata Farms, set on an expansive piece of undeveloped land. But the road hasn't been smooth. The dream farm is currently facing bureaucratic snags. Zoning issues, permits, and land surveys have slowed progress. Still, in April 2024, Janelle shared she was making moves to begin building. And a recent return trip to Flagstaff, Arizona, hinted at lingering emotions. In a reflective social media post, she wrote, "Contemplating tonight how amazing it is to have friends." Her words hint at something deeper, perhaps unresolved feelings, or maybe, just maybe, a shift still to come. The loss of Janelle and Kody's son, Garrison Brown, in March 2024, has left a lasting mark. Janelle, along with the rest of the family, is still navigating the deep grief that followed. Despite the heartbreak, Janelle has tried to keep moving forward, her vision for the North Carolina farm giving her something to hold on to. But while the dream looks beautiful on paper, the reality may be far more than she bargained for. Though she recouped her investment from Coyote Pass and even turned a profit, Tata Farm is beginning to look like more trouble than triumph. She hasn't returned to dating, and there's a quiet longing for the familiar. Old friends, old places, a sense of belonging she hasn't yet rediscovered. Known for her strength, Janelle faces a critical chapter in her life post-Kody. Her independence will be tested in ways she may not have expected. Christine, in contrast, seems to have landed on her feet. Married to David Woolley, she's not only embraced a joyful relationship, but also made smart financial moves, investing in rental properties and settling into a spacious new home that supports her extended family. Of all Kody's former wives, Christine appears to be the most distanced from him, both emotionally and practically. While she sometimes receives criticism online for openly celebrating her new life, her challenges appear minor compared to those of Meri and Janelle. As for Kody, his presence may be fading, but his shadow still lingers. Bitter and resentful after being left behind, he made pointed remarks about his ex-wives, accusing them of betrayal and abandonment. Still, Meri, Janelle, and Christine have made it clear they want no further connection with him beyond what's necessary for co-parenting. Yet, with Sister Wives still airing, the entanglement between the OG3 and Kody is far from over. Their stories may be heading in different directions, but the echoes of the past continue to stir beneath the surface.